Elite Eight March Madness picks for Sunday, March 30th on the College Basketball Experience of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can sign up today at Underdog Fantasy using the promo code TCE SGPN to get $1,000 in bonus credits. And we're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cash back rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use the promo code SGPN. And it is showtime. Welcome back into the college basketball experience. What a night. I'm hosting this one. I'm supposed to be enthusiastic, but man, I just want to sulk. And these are the worst nights because you got to jump in and do the show. You got to show your face on camera. When you just got your teeth kicked in, your team's season ended, and this is the last thing I want to do, but I'm here. My name's Noah Bieniek, but I'm not going to be the star of tonight's show, I don't think. These guys will laugh a bit about me, but, Ryan McIntyre joins me, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac, former staffer of Bob Huggins at West Virginia and Frank Martin at South Carolina. Your spirits are up tonight.
I had a good night. I went 3-1 ATS. I did miss Houston in the late game, laying the points, and I did blindly take all the unders and won 4-0. So it was a good night. I banked on the unders bouncing back, like you said last night on the show, with all the overs.
Yeah.
Should have highlighted more on that last night. But, good night. Good night in hoops, man. And, if you are in the theory of let's get chalk all the way through so we can have a banger of an Elite Eight, Final Four national championship, well, then I don't know what to say. I mean, this is your dream Elite Eight. I mean, this is Chalk City in the Elite Eight. Basically, 8 out of the top 9 teams in the Elite Eight. It should be a fun weekend. Can't wait to preview it. Cheers, everybody. What a fun year.
Yes, sir. And joining us, third man in the booth, the pregame legend that is Cannabis Capper, Matt Dewaskin. How are you doing tonight? How was your night?
Okay, I actually had a fire night. I went 3-1 ATS. My only miss was the same as Mac on Houston. I hit 2 of the under. I only played 2 of the unders. I hit both, so I did miss the money line and Old Miss. So add that up. That's 5-2.
There you go.
I think. But no, you have. There's nothing to sulk about. Like, Michigan had a fantastic season. Like, the season was fantastic.
You're in the Sweet 16.
In the Sweet 16, you went from.
I would be in that boat, man, if we weren't winning that thing with 10 minutes.
Okay. But just for perspective, I'm a DePaul basketball fan. I've watched DePaul basketball since no joke, since I was 4. Okay, I'm from the Chicagoland area. When I was 4 years old, Michael Jordan was like a rookie in Chicago. I'm an old man. I don't mean to date I'm an old. But I was 4 years old, and the Bulls were not a thing yet. DePaul was the thing when I was a little kid. So I've seen it go from, like seeing like the players getting interviewed on the news to seeing no one know who the players are except for like the core of the core. So also, I think the last I've gone through like 20 legitimately like awful, horrific losing seasons in a row before this year, and this is like the first like okay year that we've had. So, Michigan,
Capper, you sure do know how to pick somebody up when they're done.
They went from the Juwan Howard thing to Dusty May, and Dusty May's you managed to hold on to Dusty May for more than a year. This is the future is bright in Ann Arbor when it comes to hoops. I can't on the football side, we'll see, but on the basketball side, the future is really bright in Ann Arbor.
You're jumping the gun. We'll get to Michigan here.
Okay. Yeah. I apologize. But
I co-sign everything you just said. We'll do an in-depth thing on Michigan for you, Bieniek. It's a good year.
I just want to add a bit of. I just want to help Noah get a bit of perspective. Cheer him up a little bit. Just know that, hey, you could be excited for the basketball crown tournament that's coming up, which I am.
No, I'm not.
Hey, 20 years in the basketball wilderness will do that to you. Hey, we're in a tournament? No way.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, my angle on fading all 4 first-year head coaches was a good angle. They all went 0-4, and I think the only one that covered was Calipari. I mean, first-year head coaches are not supposed to make the Final Four. I know we're in the transfer portal era, but I mean that's just reality. All 4 of those teams overachieved: BYU, Arkansas, Kentucky, and then Michigan. So they bowed out. Now the cream rises to the top, and we're gonna have a hell of an Elite Eight, I think, Bieniek and Cap.
Yeah, you already mentioned it when you look at KenPom. 8 of the top 9 teams are in the Elite Eight here, which, I mean, we still have half a tournament left, guys. Everybody's been calling this thing just chalk and overrated and a shit tournament, quite frankly. I mean, we've played 3 games. All of these teams have played 3 games. We still got 3 more to go, and all of these are supposed to be very, very, very fun games to watch, and very good talent on the floor. I mean, where else do we start other than Ole Miss should have won tonight. They should have won. And maybe I'd feel a little bit better if those fuckers in green lost tonight too.
Oh, what a game. What a game. By the way, KenPom literally called this exact score 73-70. All right, timeout. Timeout on the play. If you are saying Michigan State, let's just get this out of the way. If you are saying Michigan State was the right side, you need to leave the show right now. They were not the right side. Now, you can bitch that it was a lucky bank in, the iron is kind, as Bill Raftery would say. Yes, that was a tough break at the end. But if you're going to get in here and say that Michigan State should have covered -3.5, get the fuck out of here. You didn't watch that whole game. Ole Miss led for 36 minutes out of the game. They covered for 39 minutes and 29 seconds. Stop. I've seen so many bullshit takes tonight that was the right side. Now into the game. That was a hell of a game, man. I mean, that was a hell of a game. Tom Izzo, Chris Beard. What else did you expect? I said this all week that if all of us that are breaking down the game are saying that Ole Miss is going to get pounded on the glass, what do you think Chris Beard is saying all week? They kicked Sparty's ass on the glass. They kicked their ass.
It's a top 10 rebounding team that they just out-rebounded. And coming into the day, they were a bottom 100 rebounding team in the country.
And they kept him out of transition. And that's why they were able to keep the game close. I mean, Chris Beard is such a good coach. The only way that they were going to – I mean, they do not have the Jimmies and Joes that Michigan State has. Michigan State has so much depth. But Chris Beard is not only a good – Chris Beard's an elite basketball coach. And I think that Padula was awesome tonight. I thought him getting in foul trouble really hurt them. But Sparty, man, this team is special because they just find ways to win with all this depth, with all this size. It's a throwback team, and they're playing. I mean, nobody thinks they're going to win on Sunday against the old Auburn Tigers. Old Izzo did not play Zapala tonight. He's playing to win now. What a game. What a game. That's all I can say. That was a March Madness game. That's what the tournament is supposed to look like. That was a beautiful game.
Yeah. Third highest point total of the year tonight for Cohen Carr. My goodness, did Jeremy Fears make a hell of a play. Keeping Ole Miss out of transition, jumping up vertical was elite. Keeping that pass from getting into the half court. Yeah. Cohen Carr picks up the loose ball, slams it home. Momentum shifts. From there on, I don't believe Ole Miss, had any momentum whatsoever. After that ginormous dunk that Carr had. And for what it's worth, I was super impressed by Ole Miss tonight. They played honestly better than I even imagined and pictured that they would. Sean Padula was wet 4 for 9 from deep. Shot at 9 for 17 tonight from the field. That guy was unbelievable. Foul trouble didn't bother him at all whatsoever either. Capper, your take on the game here?
Yeah, I got to co-sign everything you guys said. Sean Padula, dog. Loved watching. He had a hell of a game tonight. Other guys,
White's proud. I mean, he was a fucking dog.
Yeah, like, hell of a tournament.
Now, okay, now
games.
his name ends in a vowel, so I don't know if the Whites can claim him exclusively. We can give him white white adjacent membership and
white chocolate.
Yeah, until we can confirm white status or not. On the other side, the guy who impressed me for Michigan State is the same guy who's impressed me all year. That's Jaden Akins. I love that guy. Yeah. He just does so many things that show up in a box score and so many things that don't show up in a box score. Just so he kind of I know Fears kind of runs the offense and dishes and captains and captains from that end, but Akins when it comes to leadership on the floor, he's the guy they turn to. He's the guy it's the first guy to get yelled at every time they call a timeout and Izzo needs to talk to somebody. So I've always been impressed by him. I just keep being impressed by his game. Also, I had him going over 3.5 rebounds tonight, and he did. He got 4. So other than that, yeah, this game was about what I expected. Punch, counter punch, back and forth. I did feel that again, Ole Miss controlled this for the majority of it, and then Sparty just kind of rose up and took it from him at the end, and we got the backdoor cover, which is always if you had Ole Miss, you appreciate the backdoor cover. Honestly, that was probably the most bullshit cover of the entire tournament. Happy to have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bookend it with this. That was not a bad beat, man. They were covering that game for 39 minutes. They were winning the game for 36 minutes. They were up 2 possessions for 25 minutes. Ole Miss was always the right side the entire night. And our boss, Sean, is in my mentions talking about how that was a bad beat. All I got to say is the right team, the right side covered. And whether you want to call it a bad beat, go ahead. I'll just keep replaying the 3 that hit and I covered and I cashed. So,
well, I think it can be a bad beat, but you could also, I think anybody in here can fucking say that Ole Miss was the right side. If you're saying Michigan State was the right side and deserved to cover, you're out of your fucking mind. You didn't watch the game because Ole Miss led for 30. They literally led for 36 minutes. If you're winning for 36 minutes as an underdog, it is the right side. Okay, so
can we at least call it a bullshit cover? Because I think it was a bullshit cover. When you make a 3 that bounces around,
no.
All right. No.
I
made money on it. I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
I was in deep on this because I was talking to Sean on Twitter. It was a 35% 3-point shooter, wide open from the logo. That happens. That goes in in college basketball.
Okay.
We saw Mark Sears, identical, actually, 35% 3-point shooter last night. Just drain those nonstop the entire night. I pulled an exact clip of one of his 3-pointers from the logo, and it went in. So
yeah, like I said, man, if you had Sparta, it was annoying because they tickled you that they were going to cover. But don't fucking trick yourself into thinking you're on the right side. You're not on the fucking right side. It was a bad fucking handicap if you had -3.5 because it was not the right side. Good win, Sparty. Ole Miss dragged him into the mud and they dictated the tempo. Sparty got a hell of a whistle, by the way. Sparty got a hell of a fucking whistle. Putting Padula in foul trouble as soon as they pushed it to 9 in the first half. And then in the second half, too, that was the only reason the game was even within striking distance for Sparty. So, yeah, I don't want to hear any of this bullshit that Sparty was the right side. Get the fuck out of here. I will die on that hill, and I'm not backing down to any of that shit.
Danny dumb shit. I very much appreciate this, and I do get the joke. The other night, I think it was $20 he tipped saying for Noah's Greyhound trip down to Atlanta. Now tonight he comes back with $10 saying Noah's Greyhound ride back north from Atlanta. Thanks for the giggle, Danny. You're the man. But yeah, anything else to wrap up the Michigan State Ole Miss game here?
Good game.
It was
Good game, good cover. And I'm glad that all you guys that are bitching about Michigan State fucking lost because you did not deserve to win. You did not deserve to win, and I'm glad you fucking lost.
Are you looking for all of our picks and podcasts in one place? Download the SGPN app wherever you get your apps, whether it be the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by SeatGeek, the #1 ticketing app in all of the country with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, March Madness, of course, whether you are in Indy, Atlanta, San Antonio for next weekend, or there's college hockey going on, college baseball going on, MLB opening weekend is here. Plenty of uses and ways to get over to SeatGeek and use that promo code SGPN10. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know that we came through for you guys. That code SGPN10 will get you 10% off your next set of tickets over at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. We are also brought to you by DraftKings. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Buzzer beaters, upsets, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. First time? Here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings app and use code SGP. That is code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Rhythm. They are your home for picks and props via artificial intelligence. Rhythm is already off to a great start, helping you dominate March Madness. Building your own custom model is super easy and profitable. Plus, they have models for NBA, golf, and MLB. Here is something for you guys all, a 7-day free trial over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're back here on the college basketball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, joined alongside Moneyline Mac and Cannabis Capper. We're going into the one game that was an absolute snooze fest of the day. And I was on the money line of the dog that absolutely got kicked to the curb. Yep. Tennessee unravels the Wildcats. The final score was 78-65. They were a 4.5-point favorite. They cover that easy. This was a non-competitive game.
Yeah.
From 4 minutes into the final buzzer.
I'll tell you what, man. It left you like wondering, how the fuck did Kentucky beat Tennessee twice?
Great question.
Like you watch those two teams, and I was like, I mean, I guess if Kentucky made 15 threes tonight, they could have won, but those rosters aren't even close. No. Mark Pope did a great job this year. He did a fucking great job. That Kentucky team, I've been saying it all year, and the Kentucky fans don't want to hear it because they don't like the truth. Their team was not that good.
No.
But he did an unbelievable job getting the most out of the roster. Lamont Butler was never healthy, and he got dominated tonight. Zakai Ziegler was by far the best player on the floor tonight. Dictated the tempo, went for 18 and 10. And Lanier actually didn't even make really shots that much. Again, he went 1 for 6. But the takeaway, they whipped their ass on the glass 34-24. They just muscled them. They just straight up fucking said, we're tougher, we're older, we've been here. And they're back in the Elite Eight again. I mean, Tennessee, I'm telling you, this Rick Barnes narrative has got to fucking stop. The Rick Barnes Texas narrative can stay. Rick Barnes in Tennessee has been good. They had only been to one Elite Eight before he got there. He's gotten to the Elite Eight back-to-back years. They've made it past the first weekend 4 out of the last 6 years. Rick Barnes has flipped that narrative a little bit here. They got a football game on Sunday against Houston. That's going to be a fun one in the Colts Stadium. But shout out to Tennessee, man. They're fucking tough as shit. If you're soft, don't play them. You'll just get your fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of approached this game wrong with the handicap. I thought inside a weird-ass football stadium, it'd be the team that makes more shots.
Yeah.
It was actually the team that would be more aggressive on the glass and go after their misses and get those short baskets. It was Tennessee. I completely handicapped this game wrong and how that would be. I know better now going forward from this game and from that second game that we also watched. It was a little bit more of the crowd, but the crowd was neutral in this one. And that's what I think on the glass won Tennessee the game. Mac already hit on that. And that's kind of where I ate my own shit, picking Kentucky to win it for a third straight time over Tennessee this season. Capper, what was your takeaway of this one?
Similar to Max, Zakai Ziegler's a fucking dog. I fucking love that kid. Like, the way he runs that, the way he it's not just the way he runs the offense, but the way he knows every single teammate and can just
Fucking
get them in
beast.
the right spots. He's just so smart. I continue to be really impressed with him. I love watching him run that offense. That's amazing. He's fucking dog. Love that kid. On the glass, yeah. Tennessee 14 offensive rebounds, Kentucky 7. You give them second chances, they're going to kill you. And that honestly, that was like the difference on the scoreboard. I feel like it was those additional second chances. So I had this one right. I laid the 4.5 with Kentucky. Honestly, this is probably the least sweaty game of the evening. Probably the least sweaty game so far of the Sweet 16. I never thought Kentucky was a threat here, if I'm honest.
No, I got up with 8 minutes to go and didn't watch the rest
Click. Let's see what the Tigers are doing.
Yeah, the Tigers weren't even on at that time though, so I was really screwed. I just got up and walked away from the TV, decompressed, got ready for the next one that we'll talk about here in a second. Mac, anything else? I mean, you handicapped this one to a T. I don't know if you want to do any more victory lapping before we move on from the most uninteresting game of the night.
No, I apologize. The only thing I would say about this one is year 2 of Mark Pope is going to be really interesting to see what kind of team he puts together. After this year it was kind of spare. It was leftovers and spare parts and portal guys and extras, and it didn't really fit, and he got to the Sweet 16. I want to see what he can do once he starts to put his guys in place the way he wants to. So,
no, yes, I like to take a victory lap when I nail the handicap to a T. Ole Miss and Sparty was nailed to a T, by the way, too. I said it was a 1-possession game, and it ended up being a 1-possession game. But once again, I want to shout out Mark Pope. That was not an easy job that he took over this year,
No.
And I know he's at Kentucky, but there's a lot of that. That was a pressure job. A lot of people didn't think he was qualified for the job because he only did it 1 year at BYU. To get them to the Sweet 16 here, I think that's a great job this year. And I give him a A- B+ year 1. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this program builds with one of their own. So, Big Blue Nation, I'm not a hater. I'm giving you guys your flowers. It's a hell of a first year, Sweet 16. but I did enjoy watching you guys get your ass beat by Rocky Top tonight. Rick Barnes, baby, on to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, the second game that took place in Atlanta today was Michigan losing by 13 to Auburn. Auburn covers the number. 78-65 was the final score. They were laying anywhere from 8 to 9.5, and they covered it all. Under hit for what it's worth. I'll do my best because this was a really good year. It turns out that we do have Dusty for the long haul, so that changes my entire outlook of this thing. But what started off as a roster that was not very appealing on paper outside of the 7-footers, because he was late to the transfer portal. We didn't get him until after the portal window had already opened, and we didn't even bring in our first new player to the roster until mid-April. It was a slow start. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what Dusty can do with a full off season, right? Sure. To get a roster together. Because, I mean, you pulled in Danny Wolf from Yale, who a lot of people thought he would be good, and he did have a no contact tag when he entered the portal. So a lot of people figured that he was going to Michigan right off the bat, but that one didn't come to fruition for a while. Trey Donaldson wasn't a very highly sought after guard after he was kind of exiled from Auburn, right? Reuben Jones from North Texas was kind of afterthought for a while. Roddy Gale comes from Ohio State to Michigan. Not a lot of people like that move. And to get to the Sweet 16 with this as a core for your guards is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
Golden was a hell of a player the entire year. He had like the first 4 or 5 games was slow, didn't produce immediately, but I think he was a first team all Big Ten player. The identity of this team, Dusty's guy, that was tough to watch at the end there. Vlad was definitely a little emotional. But tonight was tough because it was house money, Mac. But house money starts to get real when they are beating Auburn every loose ball, and we're hitting our shots, and Auburn's having some trouble. They're playing Michigan basketball. They were leading us in turnovers. I don't know where that thing finished tonight. We tied them in turnovers. They were up, I think 12. They've turned the ball over 12 times to like our 7 or 8 at one point, and all of a sudden it flipped with about 11 minutes to go in this one. Auburn looks like the team that we all thought we were going to get come March, and we all saw from November to February. That's the team that I picked as my preseason national champion. I'm not upset at this result, but I was like Mac used the term tickled a little bit earlier.
You man, they tickled
time. This was tough. Tahad Pettiford.
Oh, dude, holy shit!
This kid's cold. He's cold. He hit insane shot after insane shot. Oh, that's a normal 3, and then gets fouled on a fadeaway, and of course that one goes in too, and it was over. Game was like done, like Dwayne Wade at the dunk contest. Just walk away, done. Yeah, that was tough to watch. Watch your team go down to a team that you know was better than them, that was playing with their food, and all of a sudden just stepped on the gas pedal and did this to you, beat you by 13 minutes in the final 10 minutes of the game when you were up 9. That was tough to watch. A 22-point margin, and we just watched the Texas A&M game play out against us. I did my best. I'm definitely probably going to have more to say after this, but Mac, what did you watch tonight?
You know, Rush is always in the psychology side of things, so put on the Ryan Rush hat to break
okay.
it
down. All right.
Noah, if I had told you before the year you were going to go 27-10, go to the Sweet 16, take Auburn to the brink, and fucking lose in Atlanta You would have said, sign me the fuck up. So shout out to Michigan. Michigan is one of the biggest winners of this college basketball season that won't go to the Final Four or cut down the nets. But Michigan basketball is going way up with Dusty May. That was a fun team, man. And unfortunately for them, this was a hard matchup because their faults and their deficiencies are turning the basketball over. And some of their turnovers, I'm just like, what are they fucking doing? And even though they were winning, I felt like the game was at an Auburn pace because it was so chaotic. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I know they had a 9-point lead because I'm like, holy fuck, is Michigan really going to pull off a win in Atlanta over Auburn, like a true road game, and they're going to play Sparty on Sunday? But in the end, Wolf and Golden had no legs left in the last 10 minutes. Like they played their asses off for 30 minutes, but they didn't have enough because those Auburn guards and the Auburn speed and size just wore them down. You mentioned it, dude. Fucking Pettiford. Oh my God. Some of those shots he was making, are you fucking kidding me? The one he came off the ball screen and went in and out and hesied and fucking laid it in. I go, Jesus Christ, this kid's a freshman?
Yeah.
Broom woke the fuck up tonight too. What do you have?
20 and 16.
Jesus. Auburn finally looked like Auburn for those last 12 minutes. That was a gut check. That was a fun game. I know you're disappointed because Michigan lost, but you got nothing to be disappointed about. That was a hell of a year.
Okay.
Auburn and Sparty is going to be a fun game on Sunday, everybody. I can't wait for that game. Bruce Pearl is also, we need to drug test him. He's out of his mind.
I did not.
It's probably best if we don't drug test him.
I did not need that 2 minutes after
he
that game
is
went
out
final.
of his mind. Fucking going, how about the SEC? I was like, dude, somebody drug test this fucking guy. He's about to have a fucking heart attack.
This guy, the freshman, he's fearless. He's fearless. He's fearless.
Dude, he's hilarious. And, his style of how he approaches everything doesn't rub people the right way, but those dudes fucking love him and they play their fucking asses off for him. So shout out to Auburn and Bruce Pearl that was a gut check win. They were down 9 with fucking 12 minutes, and I go, uh-oh, and then they were covering with 8 minutes left. I don't know what happened between the 12 and 8 minutes. That was crazy.
Yeah. No, Auburn got punched in the mouth and decided, wait a minute, we're one of the best teams in the country. Why are we letting them get away with it? Why are we letting Michigan do this to us? And just fucking boat raced them for the last 11 minutes.
Yeah.
They flashed a graphic up during the game. Only 2 other players have gone 20 and 15 in a Sweet 16 game. One was Charles Barkley. The other was Chuck Pearson, of all people, believe it or not.
Hilarious.
The rifleman. I don't remember him being much of a rebounder, but apparently in college he was. Yeah, I live bet Auburn because you were at one point you were getting Auburn plus 3.5 and Auburn plus 120 in the money line. So I jumped in on both of those and both of those cashed to improve my night. In terms of the bigs, yeah, it was bigs for Michigan was the case first half, second half. Danny Wolf was really, really good first half and looked like the guy that averages 3 turnovers a game in the second half. Yeah, just Auburn just deciding that they didn't want to get punched in the mouth anymore and decided to punch back was really my handicap, or really what I saw. Shout out to Auburn for getting it done. They shouldn't have gotten down the way they did, but they came back and came all the way back. I didn't think we were going to get the cover, and we did. So
yeah, Tahad Pettiford had the snazzy highlight reel plays.
Yeah,
Denver Jones. Made the clutch ones with about 4 minutes to go to really put this thing away.
Yeah, he did.
That guy's very consistent because at the very floor, his floor is high because he offers you some of the best defense in the country on the perimeter. And what he was able to do tonight offensively is what he can do at his peak. And that's what makes Auburn really good because they have 6 interchangeable Cardwell's not interchangeable, but the other 5 can all do it inside or out. And this team, when they're clicking like they were in the final 10 minutes of this game, they're extremely hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch and pick that Michigan State Auburn game coming up later on in this show. The final game of the night, though, was the game that honestly had me stumped the most. I did pick an under on this one, but I think we were both, Mac and I, really, really confident that Houston was going to manhandle, was a word I believe I used.
Yeah.
Purdue. And that didn't happen tonight. What happened is that in this football stadium, both teams struggled to make shots early. The longer that Houston allowed Purdue to stay within this game, allowed the crowd that was 85% Boilermakers to 100% play an impact on this thing. And when it's that close and the arena is against you, the little things here and there feel like avalanches. And that's where, like, I thought the game, Mac and I had another friendly bantering convo online. I thought the game was pretty fairly reffed terribly. And I mean, if the arena of 20,000 people didn't let you know that they thought they were getting a brutal whistle,
oh fuck all that.
I don't know what else to tell you, but you can point to a couple of things that maybe Houston didn't get a fair whistle, but I don't think Purdue got a fair one either. To me, though, like because it was in the spotlight moment with less than 5 seconds left, everybody saw it. That's textbook. And Mac, you probably have better thoughts on that ATO than I do, but that was incredible. And they said that they were practicing that the entire year, and they practiced it the day before this game, that they knew they were going to use it, and they wanted to use that play in a big time moment. And dude, it worked to perfection, almost. Like, just lay it in, because then if TKR gets a hand on it, then it's a goaltend. He almost blocked that thing, but that was textbook.
Purdue got caught, and that last, just go right to the game-winning play. Purdue got caught. They were trying to switch everything, and then they tried to exit out, is the term, where Braden Smith was going to take the corner guy, and the guy that was switching off was supposed to drop. That's a hard coverage to execute, especially when you're not coming out of a timeout. I think Braden Smith, he's a great player. Love Braden Smith. I think he's the best point guard in the country. I don't think that they should have X'd out there. I think when in doubt, protect the rim. I mean, yeah, I know LJ Cryer is one of the best shooters in America, but he was 2 for 12 tonight. Make him make a fadeaway to his right, going off the baseline, off the flare. I know he tried to take that away. You can't give up a dunk there. That's one thing you can't give up. So I know Matt Painter is going to be fucking killing himself over this, because he's a hell of a coach, and that was a fun game. Yeah. I mean, they probably should have called a charge on Uzan at the end, but they also missed a point blank foul when fucking Uzan went up, and they go, "What a block by Coffin Red." They did a replay. He just whacked him on the fucking arm. He didn't block the ball at all. So shitty.
So if you're gonna mention a no call, they fucked up an out of bounds play.
A couple out of bounds plays they fucked up.
The ball was off of. I think it was
fucking over the back. This whole game was fucking rigged.
It was under 2 minutes or under 4 minutes. Like, we were reviewing everything in this fucking sport, and you can't get that one reviewed. It's ridiculous.
I'm so baffled that Houston had to play this game in Indy with every Purdue fan that fucking in the whole state of Indiana after they had to play Gonzaga. What is this bracket while these other teams get the cakewalk into the Elite Eight? Total bullshit. But Houston, toughness, Kelvin Sampson, Always find a way to win. Represent the Big 12. I had to rep the Big 12 day. I'm a fan of Houston just because I respect Kelvin Sampson. It was a dogfight. They won the battle on the glass. They were the better team, not by much. I mean, in my opinion, they deserved to win. But dude, hats off to Purdue. They fought their ass off. That was a championship effort as well.
It was.
Braden Smith didn't have the best shooting night, but he had 15 assists. Because you know what they did? Every time Braden Smith came off a ball screen, they said, nope, trap. So he had to throw it out, and they weren't going to let him beat them from downtown. And Kaufman-Wren, I thought, did a good job. I mean, he's a tough kid. And Fletcher Lawyer made some shots, and they found a way to – those other guys found a way to make shots to keep Purdue within striking distance. And Houston found a way to win because that's what they've done all year. They win road games in the Big 12. They win another road game in the NCAA tournament. Go Cougs.
I feel like if Purdue had like one more guy,
yeah,
we're talking
that's
about
been their
them.
issue the entire year.
But yeah, exactly. I feel like they were limited by their roster, but they gave a fantastic effort, really impressive effort tonight.
We can put to bed like their whole March. Like I know they've had a couple choke jobs, but like
this isn't one of them.
We can put to bed that they're always a choke artist. They've had now they've all of a sudden put together a couple nice little tournaments and they've grown up. They've grown up, in my opinion. Matt Painter in that program.
Yeah, I mean, from losing to a 16 seed.
No,
that's the one that's going to haunt them. That's going to haunt any team. You know,
they've nutted up. They
have. No, they definitely. I mean, they definitely have. I mean, yeah. I understand your point, but I think that's always. I just think that as long as Matt Painter's at Purdue, you're going to hear about the loss to Fairdick. That's going to be like his. It's something he's just going to have to own. That's the end of it. But Mac, we talked about this before the show. Houston got SIUE in the first round. Gonzaga, who according to Ken Pom is the 8th best team in the country, followed that with Purdue in the round in the Sweet 16, the 15th best team in the country in Indianapolis, and now they get Tennessee, who's like I believe a top 5 team, top 5, top 4 team in Ken Pom.
Top 2 seed, yeah.
The best 2 seed. So
they're gonna make our Cougs earn it, man. They do not want they don't want Kelvin to get another crack at those soft ass Dukies, man.
They really don't. Bullshit. So yeah, just compare it to the run that Duke's path hasn't been that. I mean they destroyed the Mountain in round 1, Baylor in round 2. We just watched it. God bless.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona round. I mean, even so, I do think Houston definitely has a tougher road, but it's not quite as easy as you would think.
I'm gonna pull the Mac here.
Okay.
Every time that a team has been bounced over the last show and a half, he's done a kumbaya. It's been a great year. I'm gonna do that for Purdue.
You should.
Everybody
has been a great.
Everybody in the preseason talking about this team and how they were Edey merchants last year.
Yeah.
How they got to the national championship off the back of Zach Edey. Matt Painter proves once again that he just produces these 5s in a factory. And he lost his preseason starting center the second or third weekend of the year, Daniel Jacobson.
Yeah.
This team, that trio, that star trio that we talk about nonstop the entire year of Braden Smith, TKR, and Fletcher Lawyer are all juniors. They all have one more year back if you can re-recruit them, because God knows there's already rumors. You have Braden Smith, who's been one of the best point guards in the country for the last 2 years now.
Yeah.
TKR, who was a stat sheet stuffer this year in his first year of being a true every game starter. And if he moves to the 4 and you have Jacobson at the 5, that's a dangerous 1-2 in the front court. And then you have Fletcher Lawyers, who shot 44.5% from 3 this season. You have that starting 4 all coming back, and then a core of all these young guys that had some growing pains this year. CJ Cox,
Jakari Harris, that kid, he's a baller. He's got talent.
Yeah, CJ Cox, freshman, Jakari Harris, freshman, Miles Colvin, sophomore, Cam Heidi, who had a good game today, sophomore. there was growing pains this year,
Yeah.
but another year in the painter program. Purdue's going to be even better this next year, guys. They're going to be right there again.
If they keep it together, yeah, they definitely should be. I mean, fingers crossed that they can. I don't. My guess is, knowing the culture they have there, they're probably going to keep it together, or they'll probably find enough dollars to keep it together. But yeah, they're going to be nasty next year.
Yes, sir. That was the final game of the night there. I mean, any overarching thoughts? We kind of already mentioned them. How we've got a really good Elite Eight, right? Anything that you want to wrap up on the Houston win, Mac?
The total for Houston and Tennessee is set at 121.5.
Finally, some college basketball.
I saw that. I said, yes. No layups, no blood, no foul. If you're fucking soft, keep your fucking lazy ass over there. Bring your big boy pants and let's play some ball on Sunday. Houston and Tennessee is going to be the best game of the year.
It might be. It
It's
might
going to
be
be a fun. It's just going to be a fun game from a style standpoint.
Yeah, it will be.
You know what else? 122 already, Mac. Sorry.
It's going up.
Yeah, you got another point of value to fade.
You know what else is fun, guys? Underdog Fantasy. Right now, you can go over an Underdog Fantasy and you can win up to 100x on their platform when it comes to their pick'em game. Sign up today with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. And the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is also partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. And the best part is that there are no credit checks and it's completely free. Sign up today over at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're back here on the college basketball experience. We're picking games now for the Elite Eight. 2 games, Sunday, March 30th. Myself, Noah Bieniek, joined alongside Moneyline Mac and Cannabis Capper. No slides today. I was out and about. I had a big day. Michigan State fans I was rooting against. I myself was sweating out my game, and Purdue fans making fun of them in me bouncing off my own feelings onto them afterwards because they lost after. But we've got 2 really fun games Sunday coming up. Mac, since we don't have slides, go ahead and read the lines and kick it off with your handicap.
We got 220, or do you want to recap Saturday real quick?
No, we're going to have TC Trim's episode that we're pushing the live button out immediately after this. Go over there, check it out. It's like a 20-minute video, 2 games. So we go in depth on the matchup for both of them. And yeah, great game Saturday, great game Sunday. Mac, what do we got on the first game here?
Yeah, so we got a doubleheader here. We got Tennessee, like I said, the football game. Tennessee, Houston. Houston laying 4.5, 3.5. Shop around over under 122.5. Tennessee looked great tonight. Houston got through. Houston played the late game. Oh man,
I missed the line. What's the line?
It's 4.5, but it's also 3.5. Like it's bouncing around between 3.5 and 4.5.
Cool.
I think I'm trying to spotlight the matchup because I mean you got 2 teams that are very experienced. You got on the one hand, you got Ziegler, Lanier, and that backcourt on the. I mean, you these teams are kind of identical in a way in terms of just how they look at each other. Houston coming in on a 16-game win streak with Cryer, Uzon, Sharp, they've been in this program. You got Rick Barnes versus Kelvin Sampson. Both teams, this is the number 1 and number 3 ranked defense. Houston is the ranked 12th offense. Tennessee's the 17th ranked offense. So, they kind of are mirror images of one another. The only thing that I will say that Houston does that Tennessee does not do is Houston makes threes at a higher clip at the guard position. I think this is going to be a classic. I really do. I am torn. I think Houston's going to win. Shocker. Everybody knew I was going to pick Houston to win. I picked them to win the whole fucking thing. Even though if Tennessee was in any other region, they were going to get to the national championship for me. I think the winner of this game is going to win the national championship. I'll go on record and say that right now. I think the winner of Houston and Tennessee is going to win the national championship. It's who can make it out of this freaking football game alive. I think Houston wins, and I'm TBD right now if they cover the 4.5 cap. What are you looking at here with this matchup? This is going to be a fun one here with this low total.
Okay. I think this is going to be an absolute rock fight. I think we're looking at a one possession game, and whenever I think it's going to be a one possession game like this, I always take the points. I'm probably going to be on Tennessee plus 4.5. I think that's the right side in this one. Right side. Tennessee split against Auburn this year, and the way they did it in the second game was at the line. And I think that's what's going to keep them in the game is if they can. I think they're going to be clamped on the perimeter. I don't think it's you're not going to see a crazy Chaslier game here. That's out the window. I don't really like the matchup for the Tennessee bigs. I think Milicic is. I don't want to call a man soft, but I can't think of a better word. I don't know. I haven't liked him all year. He tends to disappear, especially when things get tough. Is what I've noticed. And Okpara, I like him in the defensive end. He's nasty there, but on the offensive end, he's not much. So where they're going to win and lose this one is at the line, or where they're going to stay in this one is at the line. So if they can have a crazy, a game where they actually, make their free throws, keep this one, clamp on the defensive end, and keep this one tight, they'll cover it. Will they win it? It's plus 160 on the money line. I'll sprinkle, but I the side that I like is the Tennessee plus 4.5.
It's tough because Tennessee was in this exact game last year, and they fought Purdue to the very, very end. Purdue shot 1,000 free throws, and that's why they were able to get across the finish line.
Yeah, but Purdue had something that no other team really had.
He went for 40 and 16 in that game.
Yeah.
No, what are you thinking here?
I'm thinking that when you put these two coaches up together, I trust Kelvin Sampson a little bit more than I do
That's
with
a good
Barnes.
call. But even
because if you told me to compare the two rosters, and we've only got 2 games, I feel like this is a fun exercise.
Let's do it.
I kind of like Tennessee's roster player by player. Point guard, Uzon or Ziegler.
But Uzon can fuck with them because Uzon is 6 inches taller.
Yeah, what we just saw of Zakai tonight was.
Yeah. We also just saw a crazy Uzon game, so there could be some regression there
for both.
Zakai didn't have that great of a night shooting, did he not?
I thought he was the best player on the floor.
He was the best player on the floor, but I don't think he had a fantastic night shooting.
I'm taking Ziegler out of those two. He's been
you're not going to get pushback from me if you're taking
5 for 13.
I love
5 for 13 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3.
He's been the catalyst for the Volunteers this year, in my opinion.
You're correct. I don't think we saw crazy shooting there. We did see a crazy shooting there from Uzon. Didn't he make 4 threes, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Best support player, at least offensively. Mm-hmm. You take a Chaz Lanier or LJ Cryer.
LJ Cryer's got a ring.
In this game, I want Cryer.
LJ Cryer's coming off 2 for 13. I think he bounces back.
I think he does too.
Lanier went like 1 for 4.
Lanier is a pro. Lanier is 6'6". Lanier can pop up off those pin downs and staggers and make shots. But Cryer's played in some big time games.
Yeah, I'm going Cryer there. The other wing, you going with Emmanuel Sharp or Jordan Gady?
Probably
I like
man.
Sharp a lot too.
Sharp always makes every fucking big shot. Like every time.
Seems to be that guy.
He fades away to the left and it always goes in. It's a fun matchup when you match them up against each other.
Yeah.
Go ahead into the front court, Bieniek.
Oh, there's one more. Like when it comes to like 4, like Meshack is one of Tennessee's best players.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really match up. I mean, he's going to be more on the outside doing a lot of his damage. Yep. But Roberts is kind of probably going to be on him, is my prediction. And, you know, he's got 4 inches on him too. So I don't know. I don't know how you match him up after that, but I guess the front court, just do front court. Can we loop them all together? Because it's tough to match them up one by one.
We can.
Roberts, Tuglar, Francis versus Tennessee's
versus Akpara, Meshack, Dubar, Phillips, Milicic.
I mean, dude, they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
The more and more you look at it,
I agree.
Tennessee maybe have a little more talent,
which was my point. But
a little more athleticism, but I think it's close.
Which is my point. But I like the coach of Houston a little bit more too.
Same.
So on a 1-day bounce back, when Barnes's biggest issue in coaching has been short turnaround in March. Your X factor last year in this very game beat you. That was like, don't let him beat you. And he did. Do I trust him once again to go out there and out execute Kelvin? I don't know.
I should stay consistent. I trust Grant McCastle more than Todd Golden. I took Texas Tech. I trust Nate Oates in that chaotic style on 48 hours of prep over John Shire, so I took Alabama. I trust Kelvin Sampson. I'll lay the points. I'll take a favorite. I'll
battle. Give me Tennessee. Get this. It's gonna
themselves into Tennessee.
I'm gonna get no. It's gonna backdoor. Everybody's gonna talk. No, there's no way. Houston's got a number 1 next to their name. There's no way everybody's gonna be talking himself into Tennessee here.
I'll bet you Tennessee's public.
How much?
They've got the crowd.
Mortgage bet on that.
They might be.
There's no way.
I'll guarantee Tennessee's a public side. Nobody's betting Houston laying points.
Nobody.
They have the crowd, so it might be a public narrative.
It's another road game for the Cougs.
There's a 0% chance Tennessee is public in this game. They've
what it's worth,
number 1 next to their name.
For what it's worth, the Cocktail Napkins got Houston as a 3-point favorite, and Mac, there is a little bit of value on the over, set at 126 on the napkin. But what did I say on Wednesday's show? I'm not taking overs in a damn football stadium. So
Houston doubling the post, those rotations, hard to prepare for on less than 48 hours. They grinded out, win by 6. I think it's a fantastic game. Give me Houston 62-56 on Kelvin Sampson goes to the Final Four. Let's go.
I'm taking Houston. And for what it's worth, I'm picking the over, but I ain't betting that shit.
I'm not betting that shit. Tennessee plus 4.5. I'll battle both of you. And we can talk after the show and who's going to be the public side.
Tennessee is already public. I can already see it. Tennessee's
betting right now,
dude.
It's 1 a.m. It's 2 a.m.
What league is Tennessee in?
SEC.
Okay, they're going to be the public side.
They're not going to be the public. If they had won next, there's no
You're
way.
getting the SEC as an underdog. We're coming in to shock the world. We're going to get all 4 fucking Final Four teams. The SEC will be the public side in all 4 games, probably. They're the SEC. Right. They're a cult.
We'll see where we'll see.
They're a cult.
It's the SEC. Nobody's fucking running to bet Houston laying points against Tennessee.
Tennessee was coming into this game, they're 15-0 in non-conference contests.
I know, dude. I love Tennessee. Tennessee's one of my favorite teams, but not against my Houston Cougars.
They're going to cover the 4.5. Houston's going to win outright.
Mac, also
sprinkle the money line Tennessee.
Are you going to say I know to Houston's record this season against SEC foe?
Yeah, they've lost to Auburn and Alabama 2 games. They blew.
And now you get Tennessee.
No, I am sick of this SEC shit. Those were fluke wins in November. It's March. The SEC has not won a national championship since 2013, whatever year it is. Big 12's got 2 national championships in the last 5 years, baby. Houston Cougars, welcome to the league. Finish the job. Get to San Antonio.
This is going to be a better. This is going to be a better version of Ole Miss, Michigan State, and the back door was open there. The back door is open here. Tennessee covers 4.5.
No, actually, you just laid out the game plan. Except the iron is not going to be kind, and they're going to miss, and Houston wins by 6.
So the crazy 3 points going to bounce out is what you're.
Yeah.
That's part of the handicap.
Houston by 6. In all honesty, I can't wait to watch this game. It's going to be a fun game.
Only Mac is excited about 360 in pace against 349 in pace.
None of this fucking 3-point fucking fairy shit. Fucking rebound.
What do you mean? You just picked a team that's number 1 in 3-point efficiency this season.
Who, Alabama?
Houston.
Oh, well, but you know when they make their threes? They don't make it out of their offense. It's off offensive rebounds. Half of their threes come off offensive rebounds. Because they're 4 and 5 men get every offensive rebound and they kick it out to Cryer, Uzon, and Sharp. So yeah, let's go. You get those are pretty threes to me. When you get a nice rebound and you kick it out.
All right, my picks. I'm on Houston the cover, and I'm on the over. Mac.
Bieniek, we need 3.5. By the way, there's a 3.5 out there. Every point matters in this fucking game.
I'm taking my 4.5, and you'll take my 4 from my cold, dead fucking hands, Mac.
Hey, Mac, what happens with the 3.5? You lay it.
Lay it. Except all
I'm
you
making an even bigger bet.
Except all you chalky smarty fucks out there still bitching.
I'm making an even bigger bet on my 4.5 right now.
Let's go. I can't wait. So Houston will win by 4, and we'll all win.
Sounds like playing.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, the back door is open here. It's possible.
Perfect.
Dude, I hate that I got to root against Rick Barnes, man. I've been fucking pushing Rick Barnes all year.
You've been Team Barnes the entire
year. Dude, he's playing my fucking Cougs.
You would hate yourself more rooting against Kelvin Sampson. You know this.
I know. I'm a Kelvin Sampson guy. I can't root against Sampson. I'm a Houston guy. They're my team all year. Big 12. Let's go. We're gonna find a way here.
TCE Trims on YouTube here is brought to you by the best deal in America over on SeatGeek. Right now, use code SGPN10 for 10% off your order. Number 1 rated ticketing app on the App Store or Google Play Store with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. March Madness is here. You can go to one of these Elite 8 games. You can go down to San Antonio for a Final Four game. College hockey tournament's going on right now. College baseball is going on. MLB opening weekend. Plenty of events to go over and use SeatGeek code SGPN10 on. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. TCE came through for you guys. We've got that code SGPN10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. Game number 2 is Auburn, Michigan State. And if we're calling the first one a football match between Houston and Tennessee, then I think Auburn, Michigan State, Tom Izzo, a coach who every time he goes on Pardon My Take, for whatever reason, they bring up how he puts his guys in football pads, and he hasn't done that in years. But they like to play football too, Mac. What are you calling Auburn, Michigan State, and what are the lines here?
You got a little bit of football feel to it because you got Auburn, SEC, you got Michigan State, who wants to be fucking.
Really? I didn't know what conference Bruce Pearl coached in by the end of the postgame interview.
Hilarious. You got. I'm seeing the number at 5.5. Is there a 6.5 out there for Sparty? In case I do want Sparty,
probably will be.
Didn't tip my hand on which side I'm going to be on. No, it's 5.5 across the board. Over under set at 148.5. So this one's way higher than the other one. Bieniek, what do you think, man? I mean, you know Sparty as well as anybody. I think this is a fascinating game because Auburn, yes, very good athletes, style of play. It will be a home game for Auburn. Broom, I mean, what's the matchup here that is the biggest discrepancy? I'm trying to think. Can Michigan State get back to being the big bad Spartans on the glass here after kind of getting out rebounded tonight?
Yeah, it's tough because what was okay, first I don't know. I can't answer that question off the top of my head.
The matchup comes down to Auburn's offense, Auburn's explosiveness versus the Sparty defense. They're both in the top 5 of their respective categories.
Here's my prediction. It's Auburn by double digits.
Oh, what?
I don't think this one's going to be close. Michigan State has trailed all 3 of their NCAA tournament games in the first half so far this year, or this tournament. Auburn has played with their food in every single one of them. Double-digit win, double-digit win, double-digit win. If you give Auburn an early lead, what do you think's going to happen? Because Auburn's been that second half team in the NCAA tournament for up to this point. And also, for what it's worth, they do everything that Sparty does. And they, I think, have more offensive talent. They have the best player for my money in the country, in Janai Broom.
Okay.
I think they have a really good rim protector, whether it be Cardwell on the floor, whether it be Broom on the floor. Sparty wants to drive. Shooting can be inconsistent at times. It's been their Achilles heel for most of the year. Auburn's going to make them hit shots. If they're not going to be able to hit their shots, and if they can't out-rebound Auburn, a team this season, 42nd best in the country in offensive rebounding, country average in defensive rebounding, but today against Michigan with 2 7-footers, they dominated at the rim. 19 offensive rebounds, 29 defensive rebounds. They out-rebounded Michigan. Math is hard. 48-33 tonight. And they dominated at the rim. How many, if they didn't go down as blocks, how many times did Michigan get stuffed at the rim tonight? Todd Pettiford blocked the dude at the rim. Michigan State wants to be that tough bully, but when the bully gets bullied, it's not a good it's not a good outcome for the bully. That's typically been that team. I think Auburn's got the size. I think they have the strength over a team that wants to outsize you and outstrength you. And they've got more offensive talent. I'm on the Tigers.
Cap, what say you?
I came in here wanting to bet Michigan State, and Noah's talked me into Auburn. I just look again. I would if you okay. Tom Izzo is by far the superior coach of Bruce Pearl. Let's not
Yes.
But Bruce Pearl just has so many dudes. How does he screw this up? What would he have to do to screw this up? I mean, like tear his shirt off and just like start chanting SEC for like the entire second. Like that's what he would have to do to blow this. It would have to be like one where he just like completely like disappeared and like went like full meatball. I think he's got assistants that are going to stop him from doing that. So I would love to bet. I want to bet Tom Izzo on the spot, but I just can't. When you break down the dude factor, you can't compare these rosters. You really can't. I mean, where you would want to hang your hat. Okay, you'd have the typical Midwestern Big Ten bigs on Michigan State. I don't think they can handle anything that Auburn can do down low. And then you want to hang your hat on the guard matchups. I kind of like a lot of the guard matchups for Auburn here. The only clear advantages I really see for Michigan State are free throw shooting and coaching. I don't think that's enough to beat the explosive, to beat the dudes. The guys who are going to be, giving them the old wang whip. It's when they dunk on you and their junk flops against your head. That's what Jackson Kohler is going to be seeing for the majority of this game is other dudes junk in his face. I got to lay it with Auburn. I'll eat the chalk.
Oh man, this is hard for me.
Go ahead, Mac. Jump in front of the freight train for me one more time.
Fuck, I've bet Auburn the last two games. I've been the only. Everybody's been betting Creighton and Michigan. I had Auburn the last two games. I love Izzo, man. I've taken the better coach in all three games so far, and I want Izzo to fucking move on. But
you can't deny though that they've been losing in all three games so far for 25 minutes at least. Maybe not the Bryant one, but they were losing by 10, and to a 15 seed, that's not impressive.
Yeah, and they should have lost tonight. Like, I know everybody's like bitching about they should have covered. Fuck that. They should have lost.
But they didn't, and they covered.
They didn't cover.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Michigan
Sparty.
State.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Auburn. I apologize.
Yeah,
No, Auburn shouldn't have lost.
No,
they won that game.
No. They were down 9 with 11 to go. I mean,
they dominated Michigan in the final 10 minutes.
They did, yeah. They really did.
I as much as I hate to say it, I think Auburn continues their momentum, and I think they just.
I think Auburn will. I really think Auburn will in that second half.
I want to take Sparty because I'm a Tom Izzo guy, but they don't have the same Jimmies and Joes that fucking Auburn does. And Bruce Pearl's already lost one Elite Eight game to Tom Izzo in 2010. This is a revenge game for Bruce Pearl. He's going to be rah-rah in that Atlanta crowd in the jungle. I think this is a hard fucking matchup for Michigan State. Like, I love their grit. I love their toughness. They don't have enough in the front court either. I don't think they have enough size to bang with Broom and Cardwell. And then those guards for Auburn are on a different level.
Mac,
Auburn wins by 7-9.
Do you need a little push to get on the Michigan State side?
My only push is Tom Izzo's the coach against Bruce Pearl. That's like, if I just want to blindly go Izzo, go. But Izzo has not been as good in March as everybody's made him out to be over the last couple of years.
Thank you. I agree to a way.
It makes me want to take Izzo.
Yeah, that's Capper's dog.
Yeah, it is.
He's been great. 2 years ago, got to the Sweet 16 with an underseeded team. Last year, this year, Elite Eight. I can't rip on Izzo. Cocktail Napkin has Sparty just as a 1.5 point dog.
Oh, dude. Yeah, give me Auburn. Everybody, hey, you know what? Everybody's got that fucking money line chalk paired up tomorrow with Florida and Duke. They're both going to lose outright. One seeds are going to roll on Sunday. Everybody's got it mixed up. Chalk goes to die tomorrow. Chalk rolls on Sunday. Give me Houston and Auburn. So my Final Four: 2 Big 12, 2 SEC. Yeah. Give me Auburn. I'll lay it. I'll lay it. I'll lay it. They have different dudes in Michigan State. I love Michigan State. I love Izzo, but I think the road ends here, man. I think the road ends here. Great year for Sparty. They've overachieved. They don't have pros outside of Richardson, who's a freshman.
Mac, I can push you into Alabama over Duke. I can't
win tomorrow.
You needed to push yesterday, my friend.
Yeah,
I can't push you here. I would love to. Coaching and free throw shooting are the only real advantages I see, and I don't think that's enough against all the athletes in the universe.
What was the total in this game, Mac?
148.5.
142.5.
Really?
Oh no, 148.5. Good call.
Kind of like the under. I have a 144.5 total, and if Michigan State can do anything in this one, it's just control the pace of it. Don't let Auburn run around with their heads cut off. Because if you get in that type of game, Michigan State definitely ain't staying in it. So under would be my pick, but I do like Auburn in this. So yeah, Auburn and spread and over for me or under for me. Mac, for you?
I'm on all the unders. With the short term, 48 hours, yeah. I think all these games are going to be physical ass games. And I'll probably take all the unders again and think I'll go 3-1.
You're on Auburn? Put it in, stamp it?
Yeah. No. I am on Auburn reluctantly. I think they pull away, win by 8 or 9. I think they have too much firepower for Sparty. The Izzo run ends here. As much as I want to put them in the Final Four, it ain't happening. There'll be a public dog on Sunday too because it's Izzo.
Cat,
they don't have enough. They don't have enough.
Oh, I'm on Auburn 100%.
Okay,
it's one of my favorite plays of the day.
Yeah, so that's your favorite play of the day?
Yeah.
Mac, favorite play?
Yeah.
Oh. Houston.
My favorite play is Auburn. Yeah, I am rooting for my preseason Final Four to hang on because, man, would that be a great clip. That would be an outstanding clip.
It'd be legendary.
So who's your off your picks right now?
Oh, off my picks, I have just 3-1 seeds. I have Duke, Auburn, Florida, and I took Clemson, and they got knocked out in the first round. But preseason, somehow they're all in separate regions. They all could get there. Auburn, Duke, Houston, and I had Texas Tech. Preseason, I have Final Four futures on all of them, and I have a natty on Auburn. Fingers crossed. Gotta survive one more game. Anything else that we want to wrap up? I mean, last show of the weekend. We're not going to be here Saturday. Sunday, we might be back with Colby recapping the Elite Eight action, doing some Final Four stuff, but maybe some transfer portal and other coaching news because we just had Henderson hired by Drake.
Yeah,
and some other.
Are you doing Crown or no?
Yeah, we are doing Crown.
We'll
so that'll be Sunday night. We will be here Sunday night. So, yep. Anything else, Capper? Anything that you got to plug that you were working on the website here?
Elite Eight Underdog Fantasy plays will be up for both days. Putting the bow on tomorrow's plays in the next 20 minutes, and I'll probably work on Sunday's Sunday's plays tomorrow. So I'll have those two up.
Mac,
go Texas Tech, go Houston.
Push that Big 12 agenda.
Then go Alabama. I guess I'll be a Roll Tide fan. And hey, you know what? Texas Tech, Alabama, Houston, and Auburn is going to be a fun Final Four.
Yeah, fuck Sparty. There's a reason why the Big Ten hasn't won a natty in 25 years. It's because we don't root for each other when we get to this point. Fuck them. I hope they lose. I have no issue with Izzo. I think he's done a terrific coaching job this year.
Great job.
Yeah, he really has.
So, but yeah, that's going to wrap up today's show. A good 80 minutes on the part 2 of the Elite 8 picks. This has been the college basketball experience for Capper. You can follow him at Cannabis Capper. You can follow Ryan McIntyre at Moneyline_Mac. You can follow myself, Noah Bieniek, at NoahB77_ if you want to follow the college basketball experience on social media, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. You can do so at TCE on SGPN. This has been the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.